Continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 4, text 7. Would somebody like to read the Sanskrit?
Yeah, I can. Anybody wants to read? It's very easy and very famous.
Vishal, you want to read?
Yeah, okay. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam sajaneham.
You could also read the translation.
Yeah, okay. Translation is: whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
So we are reading from the purport of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We were reading this same in the morning too. So we'll try to speak about it. Now, the word Srijami is significant herein. Srijami cannot be used in the sense of creation because according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all of the forms are eternally existent. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean that there is no creation of the Lord's form or body? Anyone would like to give it a try? What does it mean? You know, in our material...
Hello, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Yeah, I think so. In this chapter, Arjun is asking, Krishna is saying, I given this knowledge to Sun God gave to Ishwaku and this thing. Then Arjun is questioning that your birth is not, means he was ignorance, Arjun was ignorance like us. So he's asking that you're in front of me. And you're saying your son's birth was so many years back. But how can I admit, how can I understand that you given? Then Krishna imparts that your and my births have been taken. You don't remember, I remember all. And like this, Krishna tries to explain, I always come to establish the Dharma, yada yada hi dharma. I mean to say, all this it is in 4th chapter, no?
Yes, very nice. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Krishna says
you.
that he descends in his own transcendental form by his own internal potency. That's what he says in the 6th chapter, that he descends himself, Atma Maya, in my transcendental form by my internal energy. So Atma Maya means transcendental form by his internal energy, and also it means by his supreme will. According to the Vishwakosh dictionary, also means according to his supreme will. So we can see that Krishna, he can appear at any time at his will. We can't. Nobody took a survey questionnaire. Nobody took a questionnaire. Oh, where would you like to be born? Which country, which family, which gender, or which planet? Nobody asked us before we took birth, wherever we are right now, in whatever position. We just found ourselves in this body. But Krishna, no, whenever he comes in his own eternal form. So in our material experience, everything has a beginning and everything has an end. You know, so what does eternal mean? For us, it's really inconceivable to understand that something always exists, but that is spiritual, not material. If we try to understand the spiritual with our material understanding, with our material experience, we won't be able to, because we cannot approach the spiritual with our limited material experiences. So therefore, Srajami means that the Lord manifests himself as he is. As he is, he just manifests. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga of the 28th millennium of the 7th Manu, in one day of Brahma, he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations. Why? Because he's completely free to act in many ways at his will. So Krishna's schedule, he comes himself. Shyam Sundar Krishna, his schedule, like, we make a schedule, right? I have to go here today, I have to go there, then I have to go here. So like that, Krishna has a schedule. This is mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. We have our itinerary, right? What we are going to do when are we going to go here, do this thing? We write it down. So what Krishna is going to do when, in which incarnation, is mentioned in the Vedic scriptures, in the revealed scriptures. So in the revealed scriptures, it is said that Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma, only once. Now we might say, oh, that's fine. Once in a day of Brahma in 12 hours, Krishna is coming every time in 12 hours. But Brahma's 12 hours are not like our 12 hours. In Brahma's 12 hours is our Satyug, Dwapar Yug, Treta Yug, Kal Yug. All these 4 yugas combined 1,000 times. And that is Brahma's 12 hours. And Krishna comes once. So Brahma's full total life is supposed to be our human 311 trillion or something, like some magnanimous, So Brahma lives for 100 of his years. So Krishna, that means just so rare for Krishna to come for our lifetime. And in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. 14 Manus. So, and each Manu sees 71 of these cycles, Chatur Yuga cycles, Treta Yug, Satyug, Dwapar Yug, and Kal Yug. 71 times each Manu sees that. And so Krishna comes when the 7th Manu is there. So in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. So Krishna is coming when there's 7th Manu. So right now, our Brahma is about 50 years old. He's middle-aged because Krishna just came 5,000 years ago. And he comes in the 28th millennium, Dwapara Yuga of the 28th millennium. So each Manu sees 71 Dwapara Yuga. Krishna comes in the 28th Dwapara Yuga of the Manu. So the Manu is almost middle-aged, not quite, but almost there. Yeah, but Krishna has no obligation though. He has no obligation. So he therefore appears by his own will wherever there is a predominance of irreligiosity and a disappearance of true religion. So principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. So it's like this, we write down that these are the rules of our company, and we give it to the employees that you follow these rules. And then we go away. Then after some time, we see that, oh, they're not following it. What's happening? There's a total chaos. People are not following what I told them. I gave them written instructions, but they're not following. So what will the boss do? Looks like I need to have a personal meeting with them. I need to reinforce these rules which are laid down. So then the boss will have a personal meeting again with the employees. Similarly, when we do not adhere to the rules of the Vedas, when we misinterpret too much, when there's too much irreligion prevalent, then Krishna comes again to re-establish the rules of religion. And why does he give us these rules though? Why does he give us these rules? So that we can live happily and peacefully in this life. And at the end of this life, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Because after all, we are not this body. So in this Vedic rules, he gives us the information that, hey, you're not the body, you are inside the body. And this body is a tool given to you. Okay, you wanted to enjoy. So this is a tool given to you. You enjoy it, but also cultivate the understanding, cultivate the true knowledge of your true identity. So then, principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. So I might say, I think I should, I think I'm quite knowledgeable. I'm going to make a religion and I'm going to write the laws myself. No, I can't do that. Why? Because I'm inside this human body. And so I am, I'm limited. And I have these 4 defects. And what are the 4 defects? I always commit mistakes. To err is human, we say that. I commit mistakes. Then I'm in illusion. What's my illusion? I'm thinking I'm the body. I've forgotten I'm the soul. I'm thinking I'm the controller, the proprietor, the enjoyer. And then my senses are imperfect. I can't even see the tiny germs around me. And I have a cheating propensity, each and every living entity. When we are inside the material body, we have this tendency to cheat. So because of these 4 disqualifications, my knowledge is imperfect. If I say I'm going to create a religion, then whatever I lay down is going to be imperfect. So what's going to happen then? What's going to happen? How will anyone find perfection? That's the reason Krishna gives us the rules. Why? Because he's perfect. He's perfect. He's the Supreme Lord. He never forgets his identity. So he gives us this knowledge, and so he's giving us the perfect knowledge. And what is our duty if we want the perfect knowledge? We simply receive this perfect knowledge from the authority. It's been going from the Brahma rishis, going from in the disciplic succession, from one guru to another, and it's coming to us. We just simply have to receive it. So the Vedas are also accepted as originally spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva begins the Bhagavatam with the first canto, the first chapter, the first verse. He says he offers his humble obeisances unto Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the absolute truth, and he is the original speaker of the Vedas, and he spoke the Vedas to Brahmaji within his heart. Tene Brahma Rida Adi Kavaye. So the Vedic knowledge was first imparted by Krishna into the heart of Brahma. So it's spoken by the Lord himself. And that's the reason they are so important. That's the reason till today we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, because it's spoken by the Lord himself. Therefore, the principles of Dharma or religion are the direct orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. So for example, if today we buy something, we're buying a gadget. Then with that comes a manual of how to properly take care of the gadget so that it can be used in the most optimal way, optimum way and for the longest period of time. So similarly, we have this human body. Krishna gives us the Vedas. He's given us this Vedas. He's given us the principles of religion so that we can use this body in the most perfect, in the most optimum way. These principles are clearly indicated throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Vedas is to establish such principles under the order of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord directly orders. What does he order? When does he order? At the end of the Gita. What does he say? He says that means the highest order. Now, the highest order of the Supreme Lord. At the end of the Gita, what is he saying? That the highest principle of religion is, what is it? To surrender unto him only and nothing more. So this is what he's saying. He's given the whole Vedas, the whole Vedic knowledge. And he's giving us this Vedic knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. He spoke to Arjuna 5,000 years ago. And this knowledge is as relevant to us today as it was for Arjuna 5,000 years ago. Krishna is not going to waste his time to speak something which is irrelevant, which is not eternal. So the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is very, very relevant to us, even 5,000 years later. And it will still be relevant after millions of years. Why? Because it is eternal knowledge. It's telling us who we truly are. And what is the highest principle of religion, Krishna is saying? He's saying, just surrender unto me. He's saying, don't be afraid, Arjuna. He's saying, do not fear, just surrender unto me, and I shall relieve you from all sinful reactions. So we may have some doubts. What is Krishna saying? How is he just saying, give up everything and surrender unto him? I might fall into problems. I might get something. But he's telling Arjuna, don't fear. Don't fear. I will save you. I will protect you. And he's saying, surrender unto me. He is not saying, surrender unto something which is inside of me. He is not saying surrender something which is beyond me, because some people try to think, oh, what is inside Krishna, or what is beyond Krishna? There is nothing inside or outside of Krishna is the same. He's absolute. On the spiritual platform, it's the absolute platform. So there is no difference. There is no difference between his name, Krishna, between his form, between his words, between his qualities, between his pastimes. They're all the same because they're on the absolute platform. Now, it might appear amazing to us. What do you mean? But because if we try to understand it with our material mind, we won't be able to grasp it. But if we understand, oh yes, it is absolute. So of course there's no difference. All these differences are there on the material platform. On the material platform, if I say Coca-Cola, 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 Prabhupada used to give this example. So I'm just saying the name Coca-Cola, but I'm not drinking it. I'm not able to taste it. My thirst is not being quenched. Why? Because it's material. It's not on the absolute platform. But when we say Krishna, Krishna, we keep on chanting Krishna's names. Devotees are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, some of them, since more than 50 years. And they say that the more they chant, the more happier they're feeling. The more they chant, the more they want to chant. How? Because it's Krishna. They're associating with Krishna. He's on the absolute platform. Yeah. So then, that is it. He says, just surrender unto me. Just surrender unto me. So the Vedic principles push one towards complete surrender unto him. And whenever such principles are disturbed by the demoniac, the Lord appears. So their children, if the children become too naughty, then the parent is going to come and say, hey, what you doing? You know, cut this out, cut this out. Don't do this. This is the way you're going to behave. And then again, the children will start behaving nicely because the parent is there. Right? So same, we are rebellious children of God, you know, and then we misinterpret and misrepresent, and that's the reason Krishna keeps coming time and time again, or he sends his representatives to tell us what's the truth. So from the Bhagavatam, we understand that Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Krishna, who appeared when materialism was rampant and materialists were using the pretext of the authority of the Vedas. Although there are certain restrictive rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purposes in the Vedas, People of demoniac tendency still took to animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. So in the Vedas, there is sanction, there is provision for people who want to eat meat. So because Krishna knows that that is the tendency in the people, in some people we have that tendency. So what does he say? Okay, you can eat meat under these rules and regulations. And so he set some rules and regulations that you can eat meat only on a particular day in the month, and you have to do certain prayers before you do it, and certain rituals have to be performed, and also that not that the animal has to be slaughtered in the slaughterhouses. No, that you have to kill the animal yourself as a sacrifice in front of the deity, and you have to chant certain mantras. And one of the mantras is, as I'm killing you now and I'm going to eat you, you have the permission in the next life to cut me, to kill me and eat me. So, but what were people doing? They would disregard all these rules and regulations which are there, but they would just say, oh, the Vedas allow meat eating. And in the name of Vedas, they had made practically everywhere slaughterhouses. And so Lord Buddha came. He came and to establish the principle of non-violence. So although there are certain restrictive rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purpose in the Vedas, people of demoniac tendency still took to animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. Lord Buddha appeared in order to stop this nonsense and to establish the Vedic principles of non-violence. Therefore, each and every avatar or incarnation of the Lord has a particular mission, and they are all described in the revealed scriptures. So each time Krishna comes, or his incarnation comes, or his representative comes, there is a particular mission for what he comes. And his mission, and how is he going to come, where is he going to come, who his parents are going to be, which place is he going to come in, what his activities are going to be there. It's all mentioned in the revealed scriptures. No one should be accepted as an avatar unless he is referred to by scriptures. Because we all want to be God, after all, so we can all start saying, yes, yes, I'm an incarnation of God. But are we truly? No way. No way. Not, God is not a post. You see, it's not like a position that we can apply for. None of us can become God. Only God is God, and he will always remain God. We can never become God, no matter what we do. And so it's all mentioned. When is he going to come? What form he's going to come in? And what is he going to do? So it is not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can manifest himself anywhere and everywhere, and whenever he desires to appear. So the Lord is supremely independent. He's Swarat. This whole cosmic manifestation belongs to him. So who can stop him to come at any time, any place, anywhere? It's all his. For example, if I'm sitting in my house, I can go from one room to another as I please. Who can stop me? Sure, I can't go into someone else's house. I have to take permission, but in my own house, I can go. If it pleases me to be in one room, I'll be, and if it pleases me to go to another, I'll go to another. Similarly, this whole material cosmic manifestation belongs to Krishna. There's nothing that does not belong to Krishna. Not only this material cosmic manifestation, but the entire spiritual world also belongs to Krishna. We have been hearing from Bhagavatam that how everyone belongs to Krishna. So in each and every incarnation, he speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. So for example, a teacher can teach to the kindergarten students, as well as the teacher will teach the PhD students. Now, if the teacher starts speaking PhD material to the kindergarten children, they're not going to understand anything. She's going to just simply waste her time and energy. And the children will just look at her and just go on doing whatever they want to do, you know. They won't even bother listening to her. So she needs to teach them the basics as per their understanding, the ABCs. And when she's teaching to the PhD, it's already assumed that they know the ABCs. She's going to straight away dive into the theory and the thesis part, because that's the level of the understanding. They have already evolved. So the same way, the Lord, whenever he appears or his incarnations appear, they all preach according to time, place, and circumstance. In each and every incarnation, he speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. But the mission is the same. And what is the mission? The mission is to lead people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of religion. Religion means what? Religion means to love God. That's all. So at different times, different circumstances, God comes. Sometimes he descends personally, and sometimes he sends his bona fide representative. The representative may be in the form of his son or his servant, or maybe it's himself in some disguised form. And what is the mission? The mission is all one: to love God, to become God conscious. So the principles of the Bhagavad Gita were spoken to Arjuna, and for that matter, to other highly elevated persons, because he was highly advanced compared to ordinary persons in the other parts of the world. So for comparison's sake, we might say that Bhagavad Gita has the knowledge is much higher than is prevalent in any other place. Why is that? Why? Because Arjuna was able to understand this knowledge. He's able to understand. And the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was spoken out in the open. Millions of people were there on the battlefield on both the sides of the armies. So everyone could hear it. It's not only for a particular sect of people or a particular group of people. No, it is universal knowledge. It's for everyone, because each of us are souls. Each and every living entity is a soul, not that one is and the other isn't. No. So, but Krishna could speak this highly elevated knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, because Arjuna has that capability and the capacity to understand that knowledge. So 2 + 2 = 4 is a mathematical principle that is true in the beginner's arithmetic class and in the advanced class as well. Still, there are higher and lower mathematics in all incarnations of the Lord. Therefore, the same principles are taught, but they appear to be higher and lower in various circumstances. So the principles of religion are the same: to love God, to become God conscious, to surrender unto the instructions of the Lord, to surrender to the Lord, to follow his instructions. It's the same. All the religions, that's what it is. But it may just appear. Some may appear higher, some may appear lower. The higher principles of religion begin with the acceptance of the 4 orders and the 4 statuses of social life, as will be explained later. So the higher principles of religion. This Prabhupada is telling us is about the Varna Sharma, Varnas and Ashram, 4 orders and 4 status. The Varna Ashram Dharma. Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Ashram is the Brahmachari, Grahast, Vanaprasth, and Sannyasi. So Krishna himself had divided the society in this Varnas and Ashrams. The whole purpose of the mission of incarnations, what's the purpose? Is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Such consciousness is manifest and non-manifest only under different circumstances. So each and every living entity is originally Krishna conscious. Love of God is in the heart of every living entity. We just have to revive it. That's all. That's all we have to do. We have to revive this original love of God that each and every one of us have it. And Lord Chaitanya gave us the easiest and the most sublime method of reviving that love by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Even in the Bible, we say, right? Thy Lord, O Lord, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Similar, so everywhere it's been glorified. That glorify the Lord by chanting his names. And when we do that, then we will become peaceful, we will become happy, and we will feel that we are in Vaikuntha. That will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That is how we can be peaceful and happy, when we become God conscious. God conscious. So just by chanting the holy name, hearing about the Lord, hearing and chanting, that's the process. That's the process of Krishna consciousness. Any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I want to ask why Arjun is questioning that son's birthday is from so many years. How can I believe? Why he's questioning to Krishna? Why he's doubting? Yane, I mean to say, in the first chapter of Gita, it was all how everybody is arranging chariots and everything. And this Arjun, he said, how can I kill my mama, chacha, and this thing, everything? If I beg, that is also better. How can I kill my guru and everything? And he shut down the bow and keeps. Then Krishna, Lord, explain him everything. Atma, what is this? And then fourth stage also, no, he's questioning because he's not ready to accept blindly. Okay. Then in the end, no, like after seeing Vishwarupa and everything, then totally he surrenders. He tell him, whatever you say, I will follow you and everything. So actually, if you read Gita, na, our answers, how to control our mind, everything in different chapters, everything is there. It's not that any question is not, any problem is, solution is there in Gita, in different slokas, in different chapters. So once whoever reads one time, two time, he will get full answers. And he'll be internally happy also.
Jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Yes, you said that. That's all it is. So I'm sorry, did you have a question or you were speaking about the glories?
No, I was questioning that why he's questioning.
Oh, why
he's questioning? Because
Yes,
still
okay.
he's no, he, in second chapter he was still ignorance.
Yeah.
Little knowledge he got, and fourth chapter also ignorance. Ignorance is just like us. We also ignorance. Then when he see Vishwarup, then he realized that this is not an ordinary man. He's a really God.
Yeah.
So same way, and other questions also in other chapters also is asking. You're saying to control this heart. You know, he goes here and there and so many responsibilities. How can I this thing? That also Krishna say how to control.
Yes.
By practice and everything. Water drops on rocks, it makes effect on rock. It makes hole on rock. The same thing. If you keep on chanting, keep up remembering, your link will be 100% go over there. It need a practice.
And detachment.
Like a oil
And
continuously drops, no? Same way our devotion should be continuously, nitya nirantaram. Nitya Nirantar means continuously water flow, no? Same way, wherever we are, either we are with in party or anything, but internally, if you are connected, remembering God, so one day we'll be, we'll get more mukti, moksha. We don't have to come in this world.
Yes.
This is which is dukhalaya,
Yes.
full of sorrow.
Yes. So by practice and detachment, we can control the mind. That's what Krishna tells to Arjuna in 6th chapter. Now you're saying, why is Arjuna having this doubt? Because Arjuna is taking our position. You see, Arjuna actually, he's a pure devotee of Krishna. So in the very beginning of this Bhagavad Gita also, this doubt shouldn't have even come in his heart that, oh, I'm killing my grandfather and killing my guru and everything, because he's a pure devotee. So he has perfect knowledge. But Krishna wanted to leave behind the instructions of Bhagavad Gita for us. He knew Kali Yuga is going to start. He knew that he's going to go back soon and all his devotees are going to go back soon. So where are we, Kali Yuga people, going to get the knowledge from? And he wanted to give the instructions to us in Bhagavad Gita. And then later on in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is for our benefit. So Arjuna is putting all these questions because he's taking our position, because we might have this doubt. Hey, Arjuna and Krishna are the same age, you know. How come Krishna is saying he spoke this knowledge to the sun god Vivaswan millions of years ago? How is it possible? And so Arjuna asked this question to help us to clarify our doubt, because we may think like that. And so then Krishna is saying, how is it? Then he says, many, many births you and I have taken, O Arjuna. You have forgotten, but I haven't. So Arjuna is taking our position. That's why he's having the doubt. And we can see that in the 2nd chapter, he tells Krishna, okay, sadite aham, what's that? Sadite tvam, that I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. I accept you as my spiritual master. In 2.7, he says that I'm your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So Arjuna surrenders. He surrenders. And then he says, okay, Krishna, I accept you as my guru. Kindly instruct me. And that's when Krishna starts speaking the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. So 2 things are evident. One is that when we surrender, then Krishna will give us the guidance. And also to help us see that the surrender is happening in stages. Arjuna said, I'm surrendered to you. But again, he had so many doubts coming up. So it's happening in stages. And then finally, after he hears the full knowledge, then he says, yes, I'm going to fight and do whatever you want me to do. So the surrender is happening in stages, and that's what we are doing. We are not able to completely surrender at one time, right? We're still holding on to so many things. There are still doubts. And so by this conversation of Arjuna and Krishna, by the questions and the answers, more we study, our doubts get clarified. Is that okay?
Yeah, that is very true. The more we study, the more we gain knowledge. All our ignorance, doubtful go away.
So Arjuna is taking our position. That's why he's asking this question, because we may have this doubt. So Arjuna, he is making it clear for us so that we don't misinterpret or have some vague idea. So that's the reason Arjuna asked this question, for our benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your questions and your nice comments. Did anyone else have any question or anything to add? Any comments? Anything to share? Any realizations? Vishal, anything today?
No, I'm okay.
All okay. Okay. So then we'll stop here for today and then we'll chant one round. So thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Thank you. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premnande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.